One word to describe Caitlin Clark.
Amazing. A beast. She is the truth.
It's intense. Caitlin Clark is off that shit now. She let it all slide the first year. They was pushing her and all that. She's like, you know what? I'm in here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. And this is what it's going to be this year.
Caitlin Clark finally stood up for herself. No more staying quiet.
There's a difference between hype and true impact. Most rookies enter the league quietly, easing their way in and earning respect step by step.
Caitlin Clark cause a different pass.
She didn't tiptoe in. She exploded onto the scene, fearless and full of confidence. From deep threes that seemed almost personal to slick no-look passes only she could make, Clark claimed the spotlight from day one and never let go. And then came the voice that made everyone stop and listen. Larry Bird, someone who rarely speaks publicly but commands the basketball world when he does, broke his silence. His message was clear. Caitlin Clark isn't just good, she's making history. When a legend like Bird singles you out, it's more than praise. It's recognition that the game itself is changing. Clark's arrival has done more than light up arenas. She's shifted the entire conversation around women's basketball. Every court she steps onto instantly becomes must-watch. NBA greats, Hall of Fame coaches and former stars are all weighing in, not just to celebrate her, but to acknowledge the movement she's leading. This isn't a hot streak, it's a transformation happening in real time. Clark is more than a rising star, she's a cultural force. She changes the energy in every building she walks into, expanding the limits of what people thought possible. Some see her as the future, while others already call her the biggest show in basketball. But perhaps her greatest achievement is something even rarer. Before the record-breaking numbers and viral highlights, Caitlin Clark did the nearly impossible. She made the world care. Not just the fans, but the voices who define the narrative of sports. When Stephen A. Smith brings her up without being asked, it's no longer just commentary, it's a cultural moment. Caitlin Clark isn't simply playing the game. She's rewriting it, and we're watching history unfold right in front of us.
I totally applaud what Caitlin Clark is doing. She's putting the WNBA first. She's saying, we matter first to me. We should matter first to the...
This isn't just another voice in sports media. It's one of the boldest and most respected. A figure known for sharp takes, fearless opinions, and honesty that cuts through the noise. And this time, instead of criticism, he's offering rare and powerful praise. What stands out isn't only Caitlin Clark's scoring or her shooting range. It's something deeper, her values.
She's not just playing basketball. She's reshaping IT.
In every press conference, Clark sends the same message with calm authority. Women's basketball isn't the warm-up act, it's the main event. And then she goes out on the court and backs it up, night after night. Through every crisp pass, every clutch shot, and every word at the mic, Clark proves this isn't about chasing her own spotlight. She's bringing the entire league with her, forcing the world to see women's basketball for what it truly is, elite, entertaining, and worth center stage. The NBA world has noticed. Now the globe is watching. And when comparisons to Magic Johnson surface, they mean more than flattery. Magic wasn't just a superstar with no-look assists and a legendary smile. He transformed the NBA, changing how the game was played and how the world celebrated it. So when Magic Johnson looks at Caitlin Clark and says she's doing the same thing for her sport, it's not just a compliment.
It's a signal of what's to come.
It's recognition of a legacy in motion.
Joy, I love it because, to your point, they dominated in college, and
as you both did.
Yes, and then they brought it over to the WNBA, just like we brought it to the NBA. We changed the NBA, they changed the WNBA.
This isn't just a Hall of Famer handing out compliments. This is a legend drawing a straight line between Caitlin Clark's rise and what he and Larry Bird once did for the NBA. That kind of comparison doesn't happen by accident. Magic Johnson sees it, the way Clark commands attention, the way she wears the spotlight as if it belongs to her. She isn't only lifting her team, she's elevating the entire league. Women's basketball is no longer just competing for recognition, it's leading a movement. New fans are pouring in, TV ratings are climbing, arenas are selling out, and suddenly the WNBA has a surge of momentum unlike anything in its history. When Magic Johnson says her impact mirrors the revolution of the 1980s, it isn't casual praise. It's confirmation that history is being written right in front of us. And then there's Coach K, one of the greatest minds the sport has ever known. With 5 national championships, 3 Olympic golds, and a resume filled with coaching the biggest NBA stars, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, he's seen it all. Yet when he looks at Caitlin Clark, he sees something rare.
so meeting different.
Something powerful enough to build a dynasty around. When voices like Magic Johnson and Coach K speak this way, it goes beyond validation.
It signals destiny.
Caitlin Clark isn't just part of the story. She's shaping the future of the game itself.
Yeah, well, she's terrific. And it'd be easy to build something on her because she's very young. The best thing she does is pass. She's a magical passer, and she has a great feel for the game. So, I mean, what her coach did, I would have done exactly what she did. Make sure she handles the ball a lot, and she'll make everybody better.
The scoring tells its own story. Those deep threes from well beyond the arc are breathtaking. But for Coach K, what stands out most isn't just Caitlin Clark's shooting. It's her passing, her control, and her ability to shape a game without ever forcing it. He called her a magical passer. And that phrase carries weight. Because this isn't only about tallying assists. It's about vision, timing, anticipation. The intangibles that don't show up in box scores but win championships. Clark doesn't just hit the open teammate, she sees the play before it happens. She's not simply running the offense, she's elevating everyone inside it. When a legendary coach who's worked with the greatest players of all time says, "I would have made the exact same decision she did," that's not casual praise. That's a seal of approval. Coach K recognizes in Caitlin Clark what only a handful of players ever have: leadership, connection, and a generational basketball IQ rolled into one, and sometimes, the simplest words carry the most weight. Luka Doncic, an MVP candidate, an All-NBA superstar, and one of the hardest players in the world to defend, doesn't waste breath on empty compliments. So when he was asked directly who his favorite women's basketball player is, there was no hesitation.
No pause.
He already knew the answer.
Angel Reese is a good player. She's not a phenomenon. Tiger was. LeBron was. Taylor Swift is. Caitlin Clark is.
That was all Luka had to say, short, sharp, and powerful. And honestly, it was the most Luka-type answer imaginable. Because real players recognize real. Luka Doncic knows better than anyone what it means to walk into a league with massive expectations on your back and still take control from the very first game. So when he looks at Caitlin Clark, he doesn't just see skill.
He sees command.
He sees presence. He sees the same natural authority he carries himself. Luka isn't breaking down the WNBA like an analyst. He's speaking from instinct. And that's why his words hit so hard. There are endless ways to call someone great, but coming from a player whose entire game is built on vision, feel, and instinct, it cuts deeper. It proves Caitlin Clark isn't just a headline or a trending topic. She's earned the respect of basketball's elite, the ones who compete at the very highest level every single night. Her game translates. Her swagger isn't locked into college or limited to the WNBA, it demands attention everywhere. And in just a few words, Luka made it clear, Caitlin Clark isn't simply making noise. She's already caught the eye of the game's best. That's the crossover moment. That's when your name leaves the box score and enters the conversation with true icons. And it's not just basketball icons anymore. It's cultural changemakers. Colin Cowherd doesn't throw out comparisons lightly. He builds narratives that connect sports greatness to cultural greatness. So when he puts Caitlin Clark in the same breath as Tiger Woods, LeBron James, and Taylor Swift, it's not just about winning.
It's about impact.
It's about those rare figures who expand what's possible in their world. And without hesitation, he placed Caitlin Clark right in that company.
Flagrant foul that she committed the other day. I thought it was a hard foul. I didn't think it was a flagrant foul, but I think they do that, Dan, because they overreact to everything Caitlin does. Is they don't want to show like they're showing any favoritism to her. So we got to upgrade it to a flagrant foul, because if we don't, then people say, well, we're protecting her by not upgrading it to a flagrant foul. So I think that's why the referees overreacted in that play.
This isn't about tearing down Angel Reese. It's about showing just how rare Caitlin Clark truly is. Real phenomenons don't appear often. They're the ones who break TV records, sell out merchandise, crash ticket sites, and turn an ordinary Tuesday game into must-see television. That's exactly what Clark is doing, not just for the WNBA, but for the sport of basketball as a whole. She isn't sitting back and waiting for the league to elevate her.
She's dragging the league into the spotlight by force.
So when Colin Cowherd puts her name in the same breath as Tiger Woods and LeBron James, he's not talking about potential, he's talking about presence.
Caitlin Clark does and just walk into the spotlight.
She becomes the spotlight. But with that kind of stardom comes an enormous weight.
Wer move, wer wird, wer mistake, magnifique.
Clark plays with an edge, and that's what makes her electric. But being the face of a league, whether it's official or not, comes with the biggest target. And as Michael Thompson has pointed out, the pressure isn't just from opponents, it's built into the very system around her.
If you being real, what do Angel Reese get that Caitlin Clark don't get? Why would she hate her?
This isn't coming from just anyone. It's coming from a former NBA champion, the father of an all-star, and someone unafraid to say what others only whisper. Michael Thompson voiced what so many already see: Caitlin Clark is living under a magnifying glass. The spotlight she's earned doesn't just showcase her brilliance, it amplifies every single move in an effort to avoid showing bias. Some have swung the other way, creating a new kind of bias altogether. Clark isn't just judged, she's judged on a separate scale. Not only by critics, but at times even by the officials on the court. Yet she never wavers. She shows up, game after game, carrying that weight like it's just another part of her pregame routine. Because when you're changing the culture, the reaction is never smooth.
And Clark knows it.
Her answer isn't words, it's play. She just keeps going. And when it comes to breaking down the truth, there's commentary, and then there's Jeff Teague. He's raw, he's direct, and he has no interest in sugarcoating anything.
When the conversation shifts to Caitlin Clark, Teach Gur dus and dress it up.
He cuts through the noise with blunt honesty.
No filters. No fluff. Just real.